Welcome to the Panasonic booth. I'm joined today by Sean Murray. He's the Senior Sales Operations Manager. Nice to see you again, Sean.
Good to see you, Trevor. How are you?
Great. So we're here to look at what's new this week, and you're not letting us down because you've got a couple of nice things to show us. And we're going to start here with the machine behind us, which is the NPM W2, I believe.
W2S.
W2S. Okay, so what does that stand for?
Single beam. So what's new about the? There's a lot new on the booth, right?
Okay.
But what's new in this machine? It's all the same quality, all the same attributes as our W2 flagship product, but one beam, one head removed. So what that does for a typical customer in the U.S. Offers much higher flexibility at a lower price point. So you can imagine a typical situation where a tier 3 or tier 4 contract manufacturer or a medium-sized OEM would put two single beam machines together. And they would offer him 248 millimeter feeder inputs, the ability to put 20 trays in there, as well as the ability to run components from 0201 metric all the way up to very large connectors.
Wow, so there's right down to 0201 metrics as well. So, so what's the accuracy on that then?
Yeah, down to 25 micron on this machine for chips. Yep.
So what's the placement speed?
Spec'd the 16 nozzle head at 38,500 components per hour. And of course, if you put the different heads on it to do larger and taller parts, that changes. But it offers you the full range of kind of flexibility that that type of contract manufacturer or OEM would need.
Okay.
Yep.
So if you were going to be, so you'd use this as a chip shooter up to 38 CPH, yep. And probably use something separate for doing your odd form placement?
You certainly could. Now the NPM is actually a great platform for odd form, depending how odd your odd form is. So for a number of our customers, we use a standard pick and place machine to do, odd form. Well, many people would consider odd form. So simple pin and place parts, toroids, larger parts, we can still get in this machine if it comes in tray. So there's lots of options you can do on this. But of course, if you have lots of odd form. We do actually offer an odd form placer as well, but right. That's relatively new on the booth too.
Okay, we'll take a look at that later. So I'm assuming standard software interface plugs into Panasim and all the other suite that you have.
Right, so everything is exactly the same as our current NPM platform with regards to feeders, nozzles, software. It's got the same 3-in-1 camera system that offers 3D camera without degradation of speed, which I don't think anyone else in the industry has. So all those same features you would get on any NPM machine comes on this, but again, lower price point and the ability to put 2 or even 3 together to have a really flexible, affordable cell with all of the Panasonic quality.
Right, excellent. Okay, so talking about the software, you've got quite a few changes on that. So can we move over to one of the whip stations to take a look at some of the things that are going on there?
Perfect.
Okay,
yes.
Let's do that.
Okay.
So Sean, we're standing here in front of the WIP station, work in progress station for those that don't know the acronym. Your software side has really changed quite a bit over the last 12 months. I mean,
yes.
I believe that your Panasim has been completely rewritten or updated.
Correct.
And you've also added some new modules, for handling the supply chain and,
yes.
and bringing materials around the factory. Can you maybe go through some of the changes or some of the new modules you've added?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the major release to Panasim is called Panasim 10, and this will really revolutionize Panasim as an entry point for customers. So it's a self-contained box, if you will, with Panasim that's nearly plug and play. So for customers that are beginning with Panasim, it's much easier for line management. It's safer for the overall manufacturing of the facility while you do upgrades and changes to your Panasim. Overall, I think it's really going to revolutionize the way software is sold with pick and place machines. So
that basically interconnects with any machine using any other type of protocol and changes it, translates it to the Panasim format.
Correct. Yeah, and again, with Panasim, you can go as far as you want to take it. Mm-hmm. So, and that's what some of the other modules are like. We have a full factory maintenance module that we've launched as well, that I could spend a half hour talking about. It's very impressive.
Is that doing predictive maintenance for material for
predictive predictive, planned, and not just for assembly machines. It can be for your hand solder machines, your air conditioning units, anything in the factory. So it's a true maintenance module. And then the whip module, the work in process module, is even more all-inclusive than that if you look at your entire assembly process. So it's really focused on providing the same kind of traceability and information that you would have during the automated assembly process. And we've actually enhanced that with whip. But taking that through the final assembly process. So the final assembly piece of whip, and it's just a small piece of whip, for instance, would take a station like this and make it intelligent.
Right.
By that I mean your board comes off the line. It's got your components on there. It's gone through the oven, or not. But then you need to do some hand placement. Mm-hmm. So when it comes here, now your operators have paperless work instructions right in front of them that these can be changed automatically by someone else based on the product. They've got systems in place to make sure they're placing the right parts at the right place. So sensors, intelligence throughout the whole process that if they don't take this part, put it on the board at the right time, it can't advance. So only when it's correct will it go to the next station.
So they've got to do that in the right order and in agreement with what's basically on the work instructions here.
Correct. Correct. And of course, this can be customized or expanded as far as you want to take it. But from the simplest example, this would be that. Control, traceability to the operator level, to the part level, at every part in the process after the automated assembly to the point it goes in the box and out the customer's door.
Right. That's incredible.
Yep.
Fine. So that's so you've really made quite a few enhancements into your software since the last time we spoke. So the final thing I want to look at today, Sean, is to look at the odd form placement that we referred to earlier in the recording.
Yes.
This is one that was introduced about 9 months ago.
Correct.
And it really is doing some really unique things with odd form placement. So let's go over and take a look at it.
Great.
So Sean, here we are in front of the odd form machine, the NPM VF, there you go.
Very flexible.
Yeah. Very flexible machine. Talk us through what sort of feeder capacity it has, and we can see it's got a tray handling capability here. Talk us through what capacity it has, first of all, and what sort of speeds it can go up to.
Sure. So the VF is another exciting machine for us. So this is an odd form placer, and like I mentioned earlier, on the NPM platform, we can do a lot of odd form parts already. But at some point, it's too big or too odd. Now we've got the VF. So what's unique about the VF compared to other odd form placers? Let's start back. The fact that what's good about the VF is that it's a standard NPM platform. So this is part of our flagship. Same basic size, same basic look and feel, same basic software. So it's same look and feel. What's unique about this machine is it's not just a pure radial, not just a pure pick and place machine, not just an odd form part placer. It's everything. So on this machine, you can place radial parts. You can also place standard SMT parts with a nozzle. Mm-hmm. It's also got grippers. It's also got a swing nozzle, so you can flip apart 90 degrees. And it's dual gantry, so it's very fast. Right. So depending on the part, it will move. It'll place a part in 0.8 seconds, which is nearly as fast as a person can.
So all sorts of different grippers to pick up any type of or almost any type of device. What about Z-force?
Yes.
Does it have a strong Z-force when it's placing the part?
100 newtons worth of force, so 22 pounds of force. So it can do true press fit and really push anything in that you would have to. And it gets very tall parts too, so 60 mil over 60 mil in this machine standard.
Right.
Yep.
What about clinching the components on the underside?
Yes, it's got active clinch. It happens real time. So as the board moves through, it'll place the radial part, clinch as it goes.
Okay, excellent.
And this machine, by the way, is getting better. So future versions will have axial on it. So it'll have radial, axial, pick and place, odd form, traditional SMT parts.
So it'll do bending and forming, or these things will come in?
Yeah, so all of those things are on the roadmap for sure. So at the moment, it's got some of our already some of the good features that our traditional through-hole machines have. So it can do some of that already, but it's getting better and better and better. But this version is already the one we've kind of been waiting for, because now it's got the traditional SMT parts as well as radial and the very tall, very large parts.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Well, Sean, you've got a lot of new stuff going on here on the booth this week.
Isn't even all of it. So this is just the top 3. There's even more. But
It's the
yes.
top 3. This is the stuff we can show you.
Exactly.
Okay. Sean, I want to thank you very much for joining us today, and
Thank you,
we
Trevor.
look forward to the continued evolution here at Panasonic.
Yep, it's exciting. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.